What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Shout out to my new subscribers and all of you that have been watching my videos and commenting and everything. I appreciate it. So in DC news today, in an interview, I think it was like an interview statement, whatever, Matthew Vaughn, who is a director, he directed Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class, and Kingsman, the Kingsman movies. He confirmed that he has discussed directing Man of Steel 2. Now, that can mean lots of things. It's not a hard confirmation or it's not a hard yes or no if, saying if he will or will not direct Man of Steel 2. He just confirmed that there have been talks about it, and that he said that he loves Superman. He's a Superman fan. He loves superheroes, and that if given the chance or asked to or offered, that if he got offered to do any superhero movie, Star Wars, comic book movie, whatever, that he would definitely want to do it and have fun with it. So that's been going around a lot today on social media and things. I don't know, I guess there's some mixed response to it. I see a lot of DC fans kind of saying, no, he's going to ruin Zack Snyder's vision and interpretation of Man of Steel, of Superman, because it's going to be, different. It's not going to be the same. And first of all, I think a lot of people don't realize or kind of don't think about right away when we hear, things coming out about possible directors for these DC movies and stuff, is that Zack Snyder and his wife Deborah Snyder also, both of them have a strong, I don't know how I'm trying to say this, they have a very, big, important influence and play a big role in the DCEU. Zack Snyder gave us Man of Steel, which kicked off the DCEU, gave us Batman v Superman, now we're getting Justice League. So, and who knows, maybe he will direct more DCEU movies in the future, we don't know, but even the movies that he's not directing, a lot of people, they feel like if they like the movies that he didn't direct, like Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman, if they liked those movies better than the other DCEU movies, then they feel like it's because Zack Snyder didn't direct it. Which is, that argument doesn't hold a lot of water, because Zack Snyder and his wife, like I said, they both play a big role in these movies. Their influence is still there. They produce them. They're involved in producing, writing, casting. So, even if he's not directing the Flash movie, even if he's not, going to be, even though he's not directing Aquaman and, all these, Shazam, the Batman movie, they are still very much involved in producing, writing, giving their take on, having their influence on these movies. WB is not just going to, say, okay, you gave us a few movies, you kick-started off our universe, and so bye, like, we don't need you anymore, and you don't have to be involved, and that's it, that's all we needed you for. No. He casted these people, the main people that we have right now, Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ray Fisher, Ezra Miller. So he's not just going to, direct a few movies and then not have any part in the rest of the ones that he may not be directing, including Man of Steel 2. They can't just, because even with different every director is going to have their own style, their own take on the movie, their own vision, such as Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman, for example. You can feel that it's different, the tone and whatever, but they still need to fit into the universe and make sense in the universe as far as the overall feel of the movie and the tone, and they can't just have a bunch of, just because these movies all have different directors or whatever, that doesn't mean they're all just going to be completely different. They have to still make sense together as a whole universe. And so they can't just have a bunch of, oh, this one's pure comedy and this one's really dark and this one's, they can't. Just like, for example, Marvel movies don't all have the same directors, but they still all kind of have the same feel. They're still all very lighthearted and comedic. They still all have a similar tone to them. You can tell that they're all like in the same universe and stuff like that. So I understand that, like, as a Zack Snyder fan, I agree with the other Zack Snyder fans that I've seen discussing this Matthew Vaughn thing, that they would rather see Zack Snyder. And believe me, I would too. I would love for him to do all the DCU movies, but it's not practical or realistic, or that's not gonna happen. But like I said, he is still involved. He still like I said, he started this whole universe for us, and so just because he might not be labeled or credited as director for some of these movies, it doesn't mean that it's just going to be a bad movie, So just, don't jump to conclusions just yet. We don't even know if he is going to direct Man of Steel 2 or not. For movies in any studio, universe, whatever, any movie, there's always, tons of directors that come and go, or are in talks, as they say, to direct a certain movie, or even ones that get hired and chosen to do a movie, and then they part ways, and they get another one, they part ways. So, we don't see everything and hear everything that goes on behind the scenes. We only get bits and pieces of it. And so, I don't think we should, just jump to a conclusion just yet, as far as if we would love or hate Man of Steel 2 just because of the director, because we don't know. So they can't just completely change a character because of the director. They still need to have, like I said, it needs to fit in with the rest of the universe, and it can't just be a totally different feel to the character because of the director. For instance, we were introduced to Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, in BVS. Even though she wasn't in the entire movie, we still saw a good deal of her as Diana Prince and as Wonder Woman. And so we got a feel of her character, you know what I mean? Like what to expect for the, just her as a character in BVS. So when in Wonder Woman, just because Patty Jenkins directed it and not Zack Snyder, even though he wrote the story, just because he wasn't the director, she still needs to be the same character, Wonder Woman, that we saw in BVS. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, if that makes sense. But she can't just be a totally different interpretation of Wonder Woman in her movie after seeing her in BVS, only because it's a different director. It still has to have the same feel. Same with, The Flash and Aquaman. They're going to be in Justice League, and we're going to see them portrayed a certain way. And, their solo movies are not going to have the same director as Justice League. So, just, everyone's going to have an opinion about it and feel a certain way, but try not to jump to conclusions right away as soon as something comes out, especially if it's not like a hard yes or no that they are going to direct the movie or whatever. I know for those fellow Zack Snyder lovers out there, we would love to see him do Man of Steel 2. For people that loved it, I loved Man of Steel. It's still my favorite DCEU movie so far. But like I said, he's still there, his influence is still there, and, these are his characters that he started us out with, and so, that's what I have to say about it. You've probably seen, the article with his quote, his statement about it floating around, so, yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think he would be good for that movie? Do you not feel one way or the other about it? Do you wish Zack Snyder could do it? Let me know. So, like, comment, subscribe. There's a couple links in the description for my Twitter, so you can follow me on there, and my Patreon account as well. And I'm also on Vero under Superhive, so follow me on there, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.